Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Jamie. I want to welcome you. I know how difficult it can be to get a handle on your health. I know because I've lived it. I've lived it. I grew up in a house with processed food and sugar. I was diagnosed with cancer in my 30s. I had depression and I had struggles with my weight. And all of this related to how I was eating. And I wanted to get healthy. I just didn't know how. And so over the years, I've developed a program that not only shows you how to get healthy, but how to stay healthy and enjoy the process of it. And I'd like to tell you about it. First, I'd like to start with a little story. Let me tell you the story of this frog, because this started way back in 1950s. We had the invention of television. For the first time, advertisers were coming visually into our homes. We had the industrialization of food really taking off. And we had women going into the workforce, so there wasn't someone at home to cook all the meals. And then we had the food industry marketing to us, telling us what and how to eat. They swept in to pick up the slack, save the day, and what really happened is we got more and more unhealthy over time. And we have been this proverbial little frog simmering in the pan for years, having it go so slowly that we don't even notice that we're simmering away, and all the while thinking we're having a good time. And this is exactly why healthy eating and weight loss is so challenging today. This is an ad from the 1950s. The question is, how soon is too soon for Coca-Cola? And you probably can't read it in the caption, but it says, if you want your child to be well-adjusted, happy, have friends. In other words, it's saying, if you want to be a great mom, feed your child cola as early as possible. Now, today this ad looks ludicrous, but back then we soaked it in. And today we're still allowing the food industry to hook us with advertising. Advertisers, what they do is link destructive behaviors to feeling good and constructive behavior to feeling bad. This gal eating an apple, man, she looks pretty miserable. And there really aren't many pictures to choose from of people who are eating healthy. Number one, there's no profit in it. And if you look at this other picture with the pizza, what they're selling isn't just pizza. It's a happy life, it's friends, it's good times. And that's what advertisers are always selling us. The food industry and their other buddy, Big Pharma, and a few others are what I call the evil empire. They are the evil empire because they spend their time trying to hoodwink us into living an unhealthy life. And then actually the Big Pharma comes in and says, here's some medication to cure your disease when we get sick. That's pretty evil. And there's a different way to go. The evil empire makes a boatload of money while we become heavier, more unhealthy, and predictably more unhappy. And all the while having a good time. We're the little frog, right? We're the little frog simmering away in the pot. The legacy of the empire is attractive, marketable, unhealthy processed food with a long shelf life. And here's what the downside, that nutrients are destroyed and chemicals are added. And so many years later, we're suffering from incredible chronic illnesses, food allergies and sensitivities, all kinds of things. And we still can't really connect that to our diet. There is the science of addictive food. Scientists spend billions of dollars putting salt, sugar, and fats in combinations nature never intended. And our taste buds have become so overstimulated in eating a banana, it doesn't taste good. The studies are actually done on which flavor enhancer works best with what food and how you get us to eat more. And everybody's eaten a cookie or a chip or something. When they put one in their mouth, they want 50. And they do this on purpose. And this isn't us. Then they add things like MSG, which is a neuroexcitotoxin. It actually makes you eat more. And it's added to all processed foods, so we keep eating. MSG isn't called MSG, it's hidden in that our Food and Drug Administration allows the food industry to put small amounts of MSG in all kinds of things, like soy protein isolate. There's like 25 ways to hide MSG. So you won't read the label and even see MSG. Then there is deceptive labeling. When they label trans fats as 0 if there's less than 0.5 grams, but here's the thing. If you eat one thing, you've got less than 0.5, but what if you're eating 5 things in a day that are less than 0.5? That's a lot of trans fats. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We also know about things like high fructose corn syrup. Oh my gosh, that's like jet fuel for the pancreas and the adrenal system. So bad for us. We look at sugar and wonder how much processed sugar is good for us. None, absolutely none. We shouldn't be eating. But if we were only eating a little bit, it would be okay, but we're not. We consume more than 100 pounds of sugar annually in our country, and it's higher than that because I don't check my numbers. Sugar forms triglycerides, cholesterol, feeds cancer cells, and it makes us unhappy. Because sugar eats up B vitamins, and you can't be happy without B vitamins. So it leads to things like depression. I mentioned depression for me in the beginning of this. As soon as I was able to start eating well, I didn't have depression anymore. It's amazing. And this really matters because we need nutrients to digest and handle our food. And processed food, which is high in sugar, must steal nutrients from the body. What happens is if we eat an apple, there's energy that's required and nutrients required to digest that apple, but the apple's so cool, it comes with all those nutrients right there. But the donuts in these pictures don't. Not only are you eating something high in sugar that's taking away from your body, which has a lot of chemicals in it, but you also need to borrow nutrients for your body to digest and handle it. We always think of junk food as kind of neutral, but it's actually worse than that. And let me talk about, besides sugar, we have ingested toxins. In the US, we allow over 10,000 chemical additives in our food supply. Again, if we're having chemicals in all the things we're eating, when are we getting to a toxic level? We're already there. We're overwhelming our body. And I'm going to show you a way out of that. We also live in a toxic environment. The food we eat, the air, and there's water pollutants that we're subjected to, heavy metals, household cleaning products are huge. And what about pharmaceuticals? Pharmaceuticals are full of all kinds of chemicals, especially because many of them aren't even made in the US anymore. Toxins affect our health. More and more they're affecting our health. We start with digestive problems. Because if I put a chemical on the outside of my skin repeatedly, wouldn't it create some sort of inflammation? It's the same thing. If we turn our skin inside, then that's what our digestive tube looks like. Just like our skin only has a lot more cells, different types of cells, and it's kind of wet. It's the same thing. If you're putting chemicals in the body, the digestive system is going to get irritated. Reflux is all about that. That's all that is about. So are food sensitivities. Allergies are the liver getting overwhelmed, food cravings and weight gain, joint and muscle pain, anxiety, depression I talked about with the B vitamins and sugar, but also with toxins. Reduced thinking, fibromyalgia, sleep problems, heart disease, autoimmune diabetes type 2, and these are just a few conditions. Hormone imbalances, dementia. People are having such a hard time getting pregnant these days. It's related to the toxins in the environment and the diet. Women are going through menopause, and it's extremely difficult for many people. Balancing your body getting healthy gives an amazing amount of relief to hormone issues and dementia. The liver is the primary organ for toxin removal. And what happens is the liver finally gets overwhelmed. Either it doesn't have the nutrients it needs to get rid of the toxins, or it's too much work, and the liver gets overwhelmed and it has to store them in the body, primarily in the fat cells. When you store in the fat cells start getting toxic. And of course, they want to dilute the toxins, so we start to retain water in the cells, which translates into water retention. That puffy, sort of bloated feeling you can't get rid of is really all about your body storing toxins. And the only way to help that is to get rid of more toxins. And that's really the solution to pollution is dilution. We can't handle the toxins in our body these days because the liver is overloaded. We don't have the proper nutrients to remove toxins. And another thing is there's so much stress, which creates its own level of toxicity. But there's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and there's a rainbow here. Because we can remove these toxins efficiently from the body. They're mostly removed through the liver, but also the kidneys, the intestines, and the skin. And I'm going to show you a program that removes them from all 4 of these directions. Food has turned into then our Trojan horse, because we eat all this processed food, comes in pretty colored packages, looks great, the commercials are great, we feel good about eating it, but it's turned into the modern Trojan horse. It's not good for us. And not only that, it's not making us happy. How do we get rid of toxins? And how do we change our behavior? This is the 2 parts of the program I'm going to talk to you about. You have to change your beliefs to stay healthy, but you need a winning strategy to get healthy. I'm going to be talking about how my program changes beliefs, and I'm going to be talking about the strategy. There's a lot of strategies where you can go out and lose weight. You can do paleo, you can be vegan, you can do Jenny Craig. There are many strategies that are just about losing weight, but this is not a strategy just about losing weight. It is a strategy about getting healthy and maintaining that health and being happy. And we do that because we not only have an incredible strategy, but we actually change beliefs. This process will change your life. It did mine and many other people's. In fact, you can go to my website, at drjamiedc.com, and look at my testimonial page and see all the people that have been helped in so many ways. That's why I get so jazzed about this. We will be working on eliminating toxins from your body during this process, reducing inflammation, and very importantly, learning new habits and changing your beliefs, which means changing your mind so that you get excited about eating an apple. Doesn't mean you're never going to have pizza. I eat pizza, but my life isn't about eating foods like that. I'm in control of what I eat. It's also about weight loss. Most people on these programs lose about 10 pounds, although that varies. Some more, some less. We're going to isolate and repair food sensitivities, which coupled with the inflammation, is so good for the digestive system. And at the end, you will feel amazing. Our beliefs make or break us. Look at these two guys in the right-hand corner. Who looks like they will be healthier and happier? Definitely the guy on the left. But many people believe that the guy on the right is actually spending less money because health is too expensive. And I'm here to tell you that that's wrong. In the long run, which of these two guys do you think is going to miss more work? Which of these guys do you think will be more successful and probably earn more money? Which of these guys is actually spending more on his health care? Definitely the guy eating the burger. He's the one who's going to have diabetes type 2. He's going to be on blood pressure medication. And the biggest thing, he's going to be less happy. How do you even measure that? He's addicted to junk food, can't get off of it. So is junk food really cheaper? What we do in my program is we explore these ideas and we get into finding your own beliefs. What trip you up? What trips you up? And then we replace the negative beliefs with more positive beliefs. And we change your mind by training your brain, because habits are about the brain being changed. We actually make connections every time we do something. We make a connection in the brain over that. If we do it over and over, like learning piano is connections, but so is eating a donut every morning. That's that connection of I gotta have the donut, I gotta have the donut. You break those connections, they weaken, and you replace them with healthier connections, and everything changes. Then it becomes easy to stay healthy and it becomes a choice. The beliefs are what determine our success and failure long-term for sure. During my program, you receive a series of short videos which explore disempowering beliefs while supporting new empowering beliefs. Change your mind, change your habits. Repetition. And I talked to you about having a strategy. I use simple, supervised, and streamlined detox programs. There's two different ones that I like to use. They're 21 and 28 days. Both of them are phenomenal programs. One's a little more weighted on losing weight, and one is a little bit more on just detoxing the body. And one is actually a little bit easier to do. But this is the detox balance. Everything is included in this container. It is a detoxification powerhouse. It will detox your body, and it is also a dairy-free protein. I also have a 21-day program, and that program has additional supplements. It also has the protein. It also has that detoxification power, and it also adds in some whole food fiber. And sometimes I add that in when there's digestive issues, but these are all not only individual, but we make sure that you choose the right program before you start. There's always a dairy-free protein included. And people seem to think at the beginning that I'm suggesting that you not eat food, but you are eating food throughout this whole thing. In fact, here's a sample menu. The amount of food is unlimited. You're not calorie counting. You're eating unlimited organic, if possible, fruits, vegetables. And then some other examples are lentils, quinoa, and rice. There's meat and fish all the way through the Detox Balance program, but we try to keep meat and fish off on the 21-day program. And again, individualized. If you're diabetic, I would not keep you off meat at all. And if you're obviously vegetarian, you're never going to have the meat and the fish part of it. The menu is extremely varied. And here are some more examples of things you're eating. You can have oils and vinegars, coconut milk unsweetened, beautiful broths and raw seeds, and all kinds of spices. And even butter is on the menu, because butter is actually a very healthy fat. Here's a list of things that you would want to avoid on this program. You're not going to have any alcohol or coffee. And you're going to stay away from the things that people typically have problems in terms of sensitivity or allergies: dairy, grains, nuts, and eggs. And then, of course, there's no processed food on the program. So it's really simple. Here's what you're taking, here's what you're eating, here's what you're not. You're taking the protein powder as well, and there's some supplements involved on the one program. Here's a sample of somebody. This is Kay before and Kay after, and she did a 21-day program. She looks great. She lost actually 20 pounds. She's got a beautiful smile, and here she is a couple of months later, and Kay still looks this absolutely gorgeous. Happier. She loves to bake, and she's just doing things a little bit healthier. Here's Mike. This is him before the cleanse. Blood pressure was high, had a foot ulcer, and 265 pounds. And then here's Mike today. And Mike is 162, blood pressure is great, foot ulcer is gone, and Mike has maintained this, as Kay has, for many years. This program is absolutely amazing, and that's why I get so enthusiastic about selling it. I know that we've been chatting for a while, and I've only had time to kind of touch the tip of the iceberg with how we change our beliefs and our habits. I would love the opportunity to get into this with you in even more detail and have you get to the point where you can feel, as I do, that health is a choice and it feels like an opportunity and a joy. I want to show you how to do this. And in a couple of moments, I'm going to show you some of the things that are included and then the cost of my program. But first, I'd like to tell you something, and that is that the cost of my program is exactly the same if you went and bought the products on Amazon.com that I just showed to you. You could go and buy them for the exact same price that my entire program costs. And I've added so much more value, and I'm going to tell you about that. And the reason that I've done that and kept the price so reasonable is because I want more people to do it. Because it's so satisfying to me to be able to help somebody get to the place where I am. And this is all the additional value that you get besides all of the products, which are the supplements. And this is included in both the 21 and the 28 day. You also get an online cleanse book with recipes. There's daily email support that comes to you, giving you more recipes and also support. Then I told you a little bit about the video support, and that is something that I do. I send you 10-minute videos every few days, and that's where we work with changing your beliefs so that when you finish this program, you are ready to soar. Changing your habits, changing your mind, changing your life. We just recently started a Facebook support page, which I love because in the Facebook group are all people who have done the detox programs, the purification programs, and they are there to help support one another. And then on top of all that, I added in 2 meetings with me, and they can be done virtually or in person. And we ship we can ship all the supplements to you, we can ship everything to you, and then you can do everything virtually if need be. The first meeting we do before you start the program, and that first meeting is about, we sit down for half an hour and make sure that you understand exactly what you're doing, and we make sure you're doing the right program for you. And it's a great way to get you going. Then at the end, we do another 30-minute meeting. And that meeting, we plan the rest of your life. We decide you have a huge amount of input, but we direct you into how you're going to live and how you're going to eat, after you finish the program. So you're not left dangling. This is a lifelong process. And all this I added in at the same price. So the cost of the program is $295. And what I'd like to tell you to do is to start now and live the way you want. If you've made it this far, you are ready. This is something you really want to do. I know that just from experiencing it. So what I want to say to you is just jump in and start. Send me an email or call the office and just say, yes, I'd like to begin, and we'll take it from there. But don't hesitate. Don't let doubt, for a million reasons, maybe because you feel like you've done so many things before and it hasn't worked, give this a chance. Or because you're afraid. Whatever your hesitation is, you're here. Don't hesitate. Jump in. You won't regret it. I am so thrilled in the way that I get to live, and so happy when I get to share and watch their lives change. And I look forward to being able to do that with you. And if you have any questions for me, what I would like to say is just send us an email and we'll be happy to answer them and give us a call. But don't hesitate. Jump in. Be the solution for your own life today. Thanks so much, everybody, for attending. I hope this was helpful to you, and best in the future. And I look forward, because I know you're calling me. All right, bye.